Rip cringy intro. Hi, welcome to Matt's Cozy Corner podcast, where I and a bunch of my friends come on to talk about certain fun subjects about anything really. We're teenagers, we can enjoy what we want. Personally, I love to talk on self-improvement and mindfulness and an array of positive subjects. All my social media links are in the podcast details, be sure to go follow them. My Cozy Corner is a place where I can just say anything I want, a place to vent, whether that be after a 12-hour musical rehearsal or out of pure boredom, it doesn't matter. We are here to have a conversation. I can just sit on my white fluffy chair and have some fun. So welcome to Matt's Cozy Corner. Are we live? I believe we are. What's up, you guys? It's Matthew here again, and welcome to another podcast episode of Matt's Cozy Corner. So fun. I finally got a brand set up together. Me and my friend Elena made the artwork. We're starting to get things going. We're moving forward. I haven't recorded one in a while because of life just came crashing down on me, and you know that happens. But let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about positivity in your life. I've been slowly gathering positive quotes on my Pinterest board, just to talk about on this podcast. So I think we're ready to go. Now, for positivity for me, it can change depending on what I like to do. So recently, I used to be really into mountain biking, which brought me a lot of happiness and positivity in general. But that changes. Right now I'm really into podcasts, I'm really into video editing, that kind of stuff. And then I'm also really into theater. And theater in general is a positive thing for me. Because during the winter months I get really depressed and that kind of stuff happens to me. But when I'm in theater or at rehearsals or performing, it's just the actual best feeling in the entire world. I'm kind of combining happiness and positivity. But let's get started. So I've got this quote here on my phone. I'm looking at it right now. It says, "Don't count the days, make the days count." And now this has been my motto. I always think about every single day and how it's so short. Does that make sense? And I get when I was younger, for example, the days used to be so long and I would just be able to do so much. But now that I'm a teenager, they're not as long anymore. They're shorter. So I've always wanted to make every single day count, making sure I find a new opportunity, or I try and make a difference in every single day. And it could be something small, and some days it just doesn't happen. Like yesterday, for example, I laid in my bed the entire day. I didn't get out of bed. I think I got out of bed to shower because I needed a shower, and that was it. And I just went back to bed because I was tired. And that happens sometimes, and it's fine. But make the days count. I love that quote. Even if it's changing somebody's day, sometimes I walk in and I can say hi to somebody or make sure they're doing okay. For example, my friend Asher, just today, we got down to school. His mom called him and she was like, "You need to come home and study for the ACT," even though Thanksgiving break is tomorrow. We have one day of school left before Thanksgiving break, and he can study as much as he wants during Thanksgiving break. And she just got really on his case for not coming home to study, and it kind of made me mad. I was like, "Girl, Asher has time." And anyways, but because I was with him, we decided to hit Starbucks. I got him a salted caramel hot chocolate, and I got a pink drink, acai refresher kind of thing, and it's pretty popular. I just was there for him, and I was making him laugh. I was trying my best to make him laugh, make him positive. He just, he's got some things that he probably needs to look at and stuff, but even though he's got some things, I still am always there for him. And we actually went to his house before his mom got home. We played some Portal 2 for a while, and he, by the time I left, he was actually happier, and it made me very happy to see him happy. And even though that was only one small situation, and the fact that it was only today, I made that day count. I made sure I helped him out. And it can be that small. Man, I love that quote. "Don't count the days, make the days count." That's such a good one. All right, here's the next quote. I can't even read that. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. "Don't look back. You're not going that way." I like that quote because in general, it's just it's close to me. I was going through a lot of struggles back when I was 15, 16, and I'm going on 17, 18 in a month. And I always struggled with don't look back. I've always thought about, oh, I'm so far back, I'm so behind, I've done so much bad in my past that I can't ever fix it, right? And when I read that quote, I was like, dang, that's good stuff. because I don't need to look back anymore. That's not the way I'm going. We're all continually moving forward. We're all pressing forward throughout our life, because if you guys don't know, we age, we grow, we change, we learn, and we become different humans. I'm a different person than I was in elementary school. I'm a different person than I was, last year, the year before that. I'm a very different person than 2 years ago. And I kind of had to I had to learn how to solve that. And so I did. And now I'm here, 17 going on 18, picking out colleges, doing my homework every day, making sure I'm heading the right direction. And yes, sometimes we have little slip-ups and sometimes we mess up a little bit, and that's totally okay. Like, that happens. It's really hard for me to say that, because I used to be that kid. It was like, oh crap, I fell back, I screwed up my life, and now I can't catch up, and I'm worthless, and I'm going to go into deep depression because that's where it's easiest. But no. Anyways, what was I talking about? Sorry, my dad came and I had to edit that part out. Yes, don't look back, you're not going that way. And that's absolutely untrue to think that, oh, you can't, you're not good enough, you're not worth it, you're not worth the time, because you are. You really are. Truthfully, you are. Anybody who, I care about a lot of people, and a lot of people care about me. And for a while there, I thought nobody cared about me. For a while, in the last 2 years of my life, I struggled with finding hope, in a sense, or finding somebody who I could hold on to and make sure. Anyways, but you get the idea. You're not going backwards, so don't look back. You're always continuing forward. All right, here we go. Next. Whew. Okay, so we got this one. So it says, stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go right. That's the thing I deal with. I think all the time, oh crap, today's going to be a bad day. I'm going to mess up my test. I'm going to do this and do that. Let me tell y'all something. The second you say, I'm going to fail this, I'm going to mess this up, you will. You've already failed. By just saying that, you're going to fail because you've just said that. Say something else. Say, I'm going to do my best to do this test. I'm going to do my best to eat healthy today. I'm going to do my best to get work done. Because when you say, I'm going to do my best, whatever you get done, that's your best for the day. You're not saying, dang it, I messed up. Today's going to be a bad day now. Things are going to be rough, not good, for the rest of the day. But when you say, let's say, I'm going to do my best to go work out. And sometimes you can't. And so instead of thinking about, oh, shoot, I didn't do this today. What could go wrong? I didn't do this. Think about, oh, I didn't do this, but I did my best at this. I did my best at this. I did this and this and this. This is a problem with living in such a small house, is that you can't record a podcast without people walking around. Anyways. So start being excited about what could go right. Think about all the opportunities in the day and think about all the times where you've said, I wish it could go wrong, and replace that with, I'm going to do my best at this. I'm going to do my best at this test. Because when you say that, you're not losing, you're winning. And when you think about the thought, oh, I can actually do this now, your whole perception will change about what you can do. That's a big thing that I've been trying to deal with my life. I'm you know what? Instead of saying oh, I'm the worst person ever, or this, instead I say, what can I do today? What can I do? The same kind of thing as the last one. But so stop being afraid about what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go right. Let's move on. All right, I love this one. It says, judge me when you're perfect. Oh my heavens. Here's the thing. That quote is for every single human being on the entire planet. It's kind of funny because nobody is really perfect. You all have flaws. You all have trials. You all are struggling. Everybody struggles. Even if it's the smallest struggle, that's still a struggle, and you should respect it. That's how it is. And, it's maybe easier to overcome a struggle or a trial, or it might be harder to overcome a struggle or a trial. So when people say, judge me when you are perfect, when I read that quote, I'm just for all those people who have judged me in my life, and yes, don't get me wrong, I have judged people a lot, and that's just natural when it comes to a human being. You look at people and you're like, oh, what the heck is he wearing? Or, oh, what the heck is that makeup on her face? Why is somebody touch ID password? I'll just wait on that. But you get the idea, right? So it's just why are we judging each other when none of us are perfect? We all have our flaws, we all have our trials, we all have our problems and difficulties. And that's something that comes with the human experience. I'm not going to get all religious on y'all, but like, you get the idea. Judge me when you're perfect, because none of us are perfect, and that's how it is. So I would say the advice I would give you for this is, don't judge people until you know their situation, and don't even judge them. Look at them and be like, okay, I know your situation now. How can I help? How can I help? Because ultimately that betters you and the person you're helping. Because you're not thinking, oh, they have the worst situation or they have the weirdest situation. Instead, you're thinking, how can I help that situation? How can I help them in their day-to-day life? Because then you personally, I think, become a better person and closer to perfection, except you can't really get perfection. But you are doing better. And that's all that matters, right? Let me put in this iCloud password real quick, and then we'll jump back in. So, that's what I have to say about that. Oh, cool. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this one says, look for something positive in each day. Even if some days you have, look a little harder. Oh, it says, sorry, look for something positive in each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder. That's true. Today, specifically, oh, yikes. So I woke up, and I had this huge headache. In fact, I went to bed with a headache, and I woke up with this headache. I was on the floor because I was trying to cool off my body, even though it was really hot and stuff. My room kind of gets hot at night. And so I woke up on the floor and I was like, frick, now I feel sore and now I have this headache. So now I got back into my bed and I fell back asleep, except like 15 minutes later, my alarm for school went off at 6:30 a.m. And I'm naturally trying to become a morning person, but like, school is hard to wake up for. And then the amount of technology and homework is just like, it's honestly not worth it. It's worth the try until we go to college and actually have a life outside of the house, outside of high school. Anyways, you get the idea, but look a little harder. Today specifically, I was sitting in the drama room, our theater classroom, and I was just sitting on the couch, and my friend Camry was like, hey, I need to tell you something. So I was like, okay. So we go and we sit on the couch, this red couch in the corner of the room, and she goes, me and this boy are dating. And I was like, that's really funny, actually. It's really cool. And then, like, slowly, more and more people just came by. I was looking real sad, too, because I was like, I felt hung over. And it was the weirdest feeling in the world because I had never felt like that before. But, like, slowly, more and more people just were attracted to the corner. And in that moment, I was like, wow, I'm really here with all my best friends. I'm really happy here. And that's how it was. And so, it kind of comes, it's really nice, actually, to just have that moment where you can be like, I feel really comfortable here. I feel really happy about where I am and where I'm going. So if you ever think about, oh, today is going to be such a bad day, number one, don't say that, because it will ultimately be a bad day if you say that. Instead, say, man, I'm going to look for something positive. The day may be hard, but I'm going to make it good. And if you make it good, your whole perception of that day, not life, would change. Another experience I had with this was, it was the beginning of school. And let me think of the day. I can't remember very well. But I was worried about senior year because I didn't really have any friends. I knew I was going to do all the musicals and stuff. But, like, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You all know how that feeling is. Like, kind of what I did this morning. And I went through the entire day just, like, feeling sad and anxiety filled. And so I just, like, went home and I, like, just laid in my bed. And that was it. I just got a buzz on my phone. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's from my friend. Let's open it right now. Welcome to Matt's Cozy Corner, where we open up Snapchats. This is exciting, isn't it? You guys are just listening to me open a Snapchat. Oh, oh my gosh, why does he work there? Shooky Cookie. Anyways, back to the actual subject at hand. It's good to look for something positive in the day, even if it's harder, because ultimately when you look for something in the day, you'll find it, and that's the bonus, and that kind of can drive you throughout the entire day. Like one time I auditioned for a musical, and I was hoping to get a lead, and it was between me and this other kid. We were the callbacks for the lead, and we did it, and she didn't tell us who won, but we went home because she likes to post it when we're at home so we can be alone and cry if we want. And I read it, and the first one was that the other guy got the lead, and I was completely, like, broken in a sense, but I wasn't broken. I was like, dang it, like, I started questioning whether I should even be an actor or be in that kind of spot. And you know what? I read through all of it, and she actually told us in the actual message that she sent us, was like, I also took into account for the musical later on in the year, because we do 2 musicals a year, and who would be best for the roles there. And, once I read that, I was like, oh, she might have something planned for me. And fun fact, she actually did. We are actually doing Into the Woods, the musical this year, where at my high school, and I auditioned. I did pretty well at the audition, and I actually got the narrator, which is a lead. It's basically the exact same thing as the chairman. That's the character from the first musical that I didn't make, but just like in a different musical. So she did have something planned, and because I read that, I was like, oh, that's good. I was still sad because I did really want this character, but I decided that I'm gonna make today happier. I'm gonna go to the football game. I'm gonna film it, and because I felt so happy, and I actually went to a restaurant where one of my old friends. He wasn't really my friend at the time. He was kind of more like not good to me and stuff, but he worked at the restaurant, and I forgot he worked there. So I walk in, I'm wearing all this weird face paint from the football game, and the football game was actually really fun. I actually got to talk to a lot of people. A lot of people finally got I just felt like I belonged. But I went to the restaurant, and I saw him, and I had ordered for my food with him, and I was like, I'm not going to talk to him. And I thought, screw this. Like, today has been sucky, except it hasn't been. Anyways, it was really weird, but I was like, let's just end this right now. So I went up to him. I was like, hey, can I get this and this and this? And he goes, I've been watching your YouTube videos. And I was like, what? And it kind of double took me. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then I didn't realize he actually still watched me or was interested in my life. And so I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, my dude. I just started apologizing for the things that I did to him, and the things I didn't mean. And he did some stuff to me. It's a whole thing, but and then we actually kind of became friends again. And then my life kind of got really busy, and I just didn't haven't hung out with him. But we still want to hang out. It's just he graduated and stuff. But because I did that, we actually are now friends again. And it takes time for a lot of us to heal, and that makes sense. So I would just say, try and find something positive you can do or look for in the day, even if today is a little harder. I can't wait to get my friends on here. It'd be so fun. Okay, let's move on. Which one's the next positive quote? Let's see. There's that one. Okay, this one is kind of along the same lines of don't look back. So it says, you can't change what has already happened. So don't waste your time thinking about it. Move on, let it go, and get over it. That's a big one. So, like I said, you're continually moving forward. And if you keep holding on to something if you keep holding something in the past that you did or have done, you're not moving forward. In fact, you're not even going forward. You're actually going backwards, or you're making your situation worse. Let's say this. That will never happen again. It will never happen again. Why not? Why are you holding on to something that will never happen again? Let it go. Let it be free. You had an embarrassing moment in front of the entire school. That will never happen again. Because you're never going to go in front of the entire school again. Or you're going to be like, yeah, I was embarrassed. But you know what? Whatever. It happens to everybody. And you're going to stand back up, dust yourself off, and keep moving. That's how it is. Oh, there's a piece of rice on my shirt. That's nice. And a lot of people just latch on to those kind of memories and they don't let go. For example, a couple of my friends who graduated high school wouldn't let go of high school because they just loved it so much, and they actually are having troubles with college and stuff, and that's kind of normal. It happens to a lot of people. I think I'm waiting for it. So what can I say? I can say, if you think you're holding on to something, I definitely hold on to a lot of things, let go of it. It ultimately will bring positivity into your life. It will not bring sadness or negativity. It might be sad when you let go. It might be really sad when you let go, but that happens to people. We're constantly moving forward. We're constantly changing. Why hold on to something even though we're not that someone anymore? Why hold on to an experience when we won't ever experience that? Or we might experience it again, but we might experience it better. Or, we could experience it worse, but let's not think about that. Let's think about the positive sides of things. That's the point of this podcast. So let go. Let go and keep moving forward away from all of the embarrassment that you may have had, all of the problems you may have had. Let go of those feelings, let go of those emotions, and just stand up and walk away. Because ultimately, that's what's going to bring you happiness and positivity in your life. All right. That's my rant for that. Let me move on to another quote. Oh, that's a cute little thing. Oh, wait, that wasn't even a positivity quote. What? All right, here we go. So it says, oh, here we go. Be strong, but not rude. Be kind, but not weak. Be humble, but not timid. Be proud, but not arrogant. Let's talk about the first one. Be strong, but not rude. Strength can often lead to power. When you have power, you can sometimes get a little bit mean. I know some people in my life who they are pretty popular based off of what what people see, and he's actually kind of rude to a lot of people. He owns up to his rudeness. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know I'm a jerk. That's how I am." If you're like that person, stop being that person, because that thing is the worst for you. Like, it just genuinely brings you not good vibes. Like, yes, I'm going to stay friends with him and try and help him, but like, I'm not interested in your life if you're constantly going to be on my back bashing me. Like, that's not cool, my dude. And be strong but not rude. Yes, you can be strong. You can be strength. You can have experiences that you've grown from and gain strength from, but let's not be rude, Oh yeah, I totally got through that whole thing. And maybe somebody else you're talking to is literally going through the same thing, and they see you overcome that trial, and they're like, "Man, I wish I could be like him." And you're being rude about it? Like, why would you do that? That's just rude. And let's talk about the humble one. Be humble but not timid. Humbleness is key to human interaction. If you are humble, people will like you. That's another problem with the friend that I have. He is not humble about anything. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the best singer in the class." And yes, he is the best singer, but he's definitely not the best actor, and he thinks he is. And because he thinks he's the best actor, he's not. And a lot of people talk about it. And because he's just so not humble, I don't know what the other word is for humble, but like, because he's not humble about it, he gets a lot of like gossip around him and stuff. Humbleness for me personally is like something that I've really focused on this last year, because I do a lot of things. That can be talked about. And I hate when I have to talk about myself, because I'm like, yeah, I do this and this and this and this and this and this, and I just keep talking about myself. And that's another thing people do. They just talk about themselves for like ever. And they don't realize it, like, because they're just, yes, it's fun to do things, but only explain and talk about them when people ask, because ultimately that's what's bad. If you just start talking about them yourself, you're going to look very, very arrogant, I want to say. So just keep that humbleness. Keep it at the tip of your tongue before you speak. Ultimately, humbleness is best. So be kind but not weak. To be honest, I think be strong but not weak. Be kind but not rude. So we're going to do be strong, not weak. A lot of people are weak. A lot of people are strong. There's some in between. If you're a weak one, you can gain strength anyway. If you're weak physically, go to the gym. Like, that's what I've been doing. Except I've been so busy, I don't actually go to the gym. It's really hard, though, to start. Or it's really hard to start, like, overcoming a trial. So you really need to, like, pick up your feet and get going. For me personally, I've done this on multiple occasions, and I fall back, and that happens a lot. And yes, I might have gotten stronger from it, and I may have fallen back, but because I'm the same strength as I once was. So I can just pick up my feet again and keep marching forward. Ultimately, that's what's going to bring you strength, is not to take backward steps, it's to walk forward. I'm starting to mumble through this whole thing. So let's go ahead and pull out the last quote, if I have it. Let me look up that. There we go. Okay. This one is, stay positive even when it feels like your whole world is falling apart. It's not. Can I be honest with you? It's not. Life is short, but life is full of experiences, and this might be a harder experience. Your life is not falling apart. If you're alive still, you have a whole opportunities of life ahead of you. If your life feels like it's falling apart, then stop. Look at what you've done. Look at what needs to be done, and look at what's happening around you, and think, okay, where does this need to be fixed first? And if it's surrounded by other people or problems with other people, it takes time, and that's happening. But let's say like finances or something like that. Think about it and be like, okay, what am I doing that's making my whole world fall apart with finances? And maybe stop spending as much money, save more money, go work more often. Stop going to the bar on weekends, or stop going to the grocery store when you're hungry. That's a big one. Start changing little things about your life, and ultimately it'll bring you more happiness in general, because you'll realize, oh, I'm actually doing better with that. And then focus on a different place. Focus on one thing. A lot of people see the whole picture. They see, oh, finances suck, friends suck, family's falling apart, my house is falling apart, my car needs to go to the checkup, but I can't afford it, insurance is expensive. They see all of the bad stuff. And if you just focus on one section at a time, depending on which section needs to be the most focused, if you fix that and you keep it consistent, it will ultimately balance out the entire thing, because you'll slowly see this, oh, I'm less stressed about this, so I can go to this now, let me fix this. And then hopefully over time, you'll fix your whole life, even though that's very not possible, because there's life is full of challenges. It's happening, but you can make the challenges less hard, and you cannot let them build up. So stay positive even when it feels like your whole world is falling up. Oh my gosh, excuse me, falling apart. That's my rant for tonight. I don't know how long this podcast was. It's probably around, I want to say 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe it's 30 or 40. Who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys do want to follow me, all my social media links will be in the podcast details. I've got YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Netflix. Just kidding. Netflix isn't a social media platform. Actually, is it? Is Netflix considered a social media platform? Next topic for podcast? I don't know. Hopefully the next podcast I have will have my friends and people in it. This has been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry if I did offend you. If I did not mean to offend you, I'm actually really tired right now, which happens. And I feel like I got my point across in a lot of them. But take away from this, take away what you need. Take away what you want. And, that's what it's going to be. So thanks for listening to Matt's Cozy Corner here weekly, I plan. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.